This is Paint Life TV. I'm Chris the Idaho Painter. In this video, I'm going to be using and reviewing the Wagner Smart Roller. So if you want to know if this a tool that you as a do-it-yourselfer should buy or a professional painter, stay tuned for this video. All right, here we go. We are going to get started with our Wagner Smart Roller. I'm going to unpackage this thing. I've never used it before, so I don't have like professional experience. I'm gonna be just like anybody else, opening it up and starting fresh. I've got my clear paint we're gonna be testing out and reviewing. I've already rolled my ceiling, and so you can check that review out, what I think of clear flat ceiling paint. And then we've undercoated our walls right here to put our pink over the top. So we're going to be rolling a pink hallway. We're going to be loading the Wagner Smart Roller up. So technical data says it holds 22 fluid ounces. It's 2.1 pounds. And paint flow, 0.36 fluid ounces per stroke. Capabilities: latex or oil-based paint, manual operation with ratchet triggers. So overall length is 40.9 inches. And it says on the front, it says it's faster than a manual roller. We'll find that out. No tray required because the paint is housed inside, and says even coverage. So here we go. Let's put this thing to the test and our clear paint to the test. We've got the pink paint. I've already tested out the clear pink paint on a bathroom, and now we're going to be testing it out on a hallway. So it comes with a instruction manual right here, and instructions, quick start guide. Step 1, 2, 3, and 4 looks fairly easy. Notice, we've got a notice. I don't think I care about that. Assembly instruction parts and components. Loading the roller. Here we go. A lot of instructions, but actually not a lot because they're different languages. So here it is. So there's a little petroleum jelly thing, a lubricant. Assume that's probably going to be important. Don't lose that. Right here, I can see this thing is how you draw your paint out of the can. So this is going to attach right here to your gallon, and that's how you're going to be pulling paint out. So we've got that hooked up. I'm going to assemble our head. So here's our head, and this is interesting. This looks very familiar. So here's your head, your roller head right here, your roller cover. This is what I have seen on a Titan interfeed roller. That's the same exact device on a Titan interfeed roller. This is the roller cover right here. So there's your roller cover. Got a roller right here, perforated holes. This is identical to a Titan interfeed roller cover. Same exact core for the Titan interfeed roller. Don't lose these. These do not come with the roller covers themselves if you're going to reuse it. So I'm going to put this back together. And a handy little trick when it comes to removing this, if you try to pull it like this, it does not come out very easily. Use 2 thumbs, pop it up, and it actually comes off simply and easy. And I know that because I've used a Titan interfeed roller a lot. So one thing you want to check right here, if I just pull on this, there's a lot of lint coming out of this roller. That will actually be left on your walls if you don't pre-clean or pre-delint your rollers. So here's a good little tip to delinting your rollers. Take some tape, and you can wrap tape around this roller just like this. And you can use cheaper production tape instead of expensive frog tape. but we're gonna de-lint this roller first. If you get lint all over your walls, you're gonna have to sand your walls off. Because this thing, I gotta say, that's one cheap roller. So it's not a high quality roller. We'll see how it lays out the paint. Now pulling our tape off, you can see there's lint all over this tape. That would actually be left all over your walls. So really, really important to de-lint. I actually like taking it out and actually running water through it like you're actually cleaning it and spinning it and pre-wetting it first. But that's the de-linting process right there. I'm gonna see, you can pull, there's still some lint's coming out. So I'm gonna de-lint it one more time with production tape, because production tape, the adhesive is a lot stronger and it's gonna pull more of the lint off. All right, now we're gonna assemble our Wagner Smart Roller. So the head of this goes, you got two devices right here that are basically like spring loaded. This thing's gonna just snap right in place right there. And now our head's on, paint roller slides on. It's got a thumb lever right here that locks it into place. To release it, push it. So now it's attached on there, ready to roll. I would assume our lubrication is for right here, so it slides, well, if it starts to gum up or not run very well. All right, so our lubrication, this is petroleum jelly. If you just check your instructions out, there is a whole lubricating process when it comes to the roller. 8 steps to lubricating the roller, including the O-rings on it. So the O-rings are pretty important to keep the paint sealed inside the roller. So here we go. You can pull this lever. It says to pull it out, and it's not coming out. So let me see. Okay, squeeze trigger. That's loose, so make sure that's tightened. Something's locking it in place. Okay, that's not working so well. Well, now why is it sliding now? And it wasn't sliding before. Okay, it's locked in place. All right, start all over again. Squeeze trigger. I guess you don't squeeze the trigger, it unlocks it. Okay, here we go. We're drawing our paint up. It's not doing so well drawing the paint up. That's not working out so well. Okay, let's try this again. Our smart roller is not so smart. Okay, let me see, is it? Don't know why Smarty Pants is not pulling up paint so well. Probably could have had half the hallway painted by the time I get paint in this thing. It's kinda. Okay, look at that go. Okay, I think something, like I tightened everything up, and I think there might have been an air leak somewhere. So this is a good shoulder workout here. Okay, now all you gotta do is pull this off and I'm ready to go. Now all I gotta do is pull the trigger. All right, we're gonna attempt to begin loading our roller up. See paint coming through it now. So we've almost used half of it and it's not even loaded up yet. Starting to get loaded now. We're out of paint. So it took one whole thing to actually load it up. So now we're gonna load it up again. One thing, your plunger is going to hit the floor. That's kind of interesting. It's not like a regular extension pole would just end right there. So that is a little, now it's going to hit the ceiling. What the heck? So I guess you got to roll sideways. You can't lay out your wall. You can't. That's interesting. Wonder if anybody thought about that one. And you can't lay it out upwards because that's gonna. The plunger part works fairly freely. You don't have to squeeze too hard. I see it stippling the wall really bad. It's high quality roller. Stippling my wall, making a mess of it. You can see the paint is splattering really bad. This thing is pretty dang heavy. Let me see here. We're gonna load her back up again. This is the third time. And we're not even halfway done with the first wall. So it's loaded up. Seems like it's got a tighter seal now. So it's, now that I've loaded it up a few times, it's loading up faster. That thing is, it's pretty dang heavy. So with all the weight of the paint, because you're carrying all the paint inside here with you. All right, here is the Wagner paint stick, and I had the opportunity to use it. I'm all done. You can see it's used. And so, what's my opinion of this device? Before I tell you, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. That way you get notified every time I come out with a new product review. And it's just a simple way to help support our channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It never has, and it never will. Just send you an email. hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. So here it is. It's just a simple little device, very similar to a Titan interfeed roller that hooks up to an airless sprayer that feeds your roller without having to dip and roll all the time. So, some of my observations, I set it up fairly quick, probably less than 10 minutes, and it is dripping paint, so you can tell I did use it. So we'll have that mess to clean up a little bit later. All right, so now, what is my opinion, of this device? And, after using it for the small project that I used it for, it definitely is not a professional painter tool. This is a do-it-yourselfer tool. What's interesting is my two videographers that were videoing the entire thing, they are do-it-yourselfers. I asked them what their opinion is, and both of them said they would not buy the device. One of them, Tyler, said it reminded him of those pool toys that you suck up the water and chase each other around and squirt each other with. And that's kind of funny because that is very similar. So it definitely is a do-it-yourselfer not toy, it's a do-it-yourselfer tool. So some of my observations about using the device, and a pro tip, if you do end up buying one, or if you have already bought one, make sure when you start drawing the paint up. When I first started drawing paint up, it wasn't drawing paint up at all, or very fast at all. And what I noticed is I was having air leaks, so I just snugged everything down, tightened everything down. Once I got everything nice and tight and snug, then it actually started pulling the paint up and pulling it up, fairly quickly. And it's simple. All you got to do is just pull the plunger and it fills up. Now, what's interesting about the device is once you fill this thing up with paint, you are actually carrying all the paint with you now. So instead of it like being an extension pull in a device you're dipping and rolling with, you're actually carrying your paint. And so as I was rolling, I definitely was starting to get a little bit hot, a little bit tired, a little bit sweaty. And yeah, I had to turn the air conditioner up because, you do have to actually hold this paint and carry it. So, and it's not light. I was full, but it starts to empty fairly fast. It does go about anywhere between, on an 8-foot ceiling, it goes about 5 to 10 feet before you've got to refill it. I think when I was doing the small hallway, I had to fill the thing probably around 6 or 7 times. So I know they claim it's a smart roller and you don't have to dip your roller. You don't have to dip your roller, but you do have to fill it up quite often. So another observation that I had working in tight spaces in a hallway. So I would highly recommend, if you're purchasing this for any type of small project or doing a hallway or tight spaces like closets and stuff, that you don't buy it. And here's the reason why is once this thing is fully loaded right here, your plunger will hit the floor and you can't actually lay your wall out because the plunger is going to hit the back of the wall, the back of the opposite side of the hallway. It's going to hit the bottom of the floor. If you try to turn it upside down, it's going to hit the ceiling also. So it's definitely not a tool that you can use in hallways or tight spaces. Now, when it comes to using it out in the open field, the plunger being fully extended doesn't become an issue because you're laying out your wall and the plunger is out behind you. But, like I say, when you're in a tight space or a hallway, that plunger is going to hit the back wall and you won't be able to lay the wall out. So another little tip I want to just talk about too is this is a interfeed roller. It's basically a Titan interfeed roller, a Wagner smart roller, interfeed roller. They are perforated rollers with a lot of holes. So there's a lot of lengths in them and stuff. They are not super high quality rollers. Don't use them on a smooth wall because they will texture the wall. So if you've got a really smooth surface and you don't want any stippling or texturing, it's not recommended to use this roller. And I wouldn't recommend trying to clean the roller out because it's going to take you way too much time to even clean it out. You can buy these rollers. The roller covers themselves separately, and there's somewhere around $5-6 in that range. And if you are going to be using it, multiple days, you can just wrap it in plastic and then reuse it, but don't attempt to try to clean out the roller cover. So once I set this thing, up, well, I think I mentioned it was about maybe 5-10 minutes, setting it up. It wasn't very difficult to set up. Really, anybody can set this device up and get it ready and going. When I first started using it, it was a little bit frustrating how long it took to get the roller loaded up on the wall and actually rolling paint. But as I started to use the thing, it actually kind of started to grow on me. I kind of started to like it, and the trigger pull on it, it's a very soft, easy trigger pull, so it doesn't take a lot of energy to pull the trigger, and it is nice not to have to dip your roller and just squeeze the trigger as you need paint. That actually, the device itself, the trigger mechanism, the plunger, actually functioned really well, and I began to really like the device. So as I was using the device, as I said, it started to grow on me, and I started to like the device. But eventually, you got to get to the cleanup, and I took it out to clean this device up, and oh my gosh, it did actually, time wise, it took me about 10 minutes to clean the device up, but there's so many little parts and pieces you have to take apart. You got to take apart this entire thing, the plunger, everything, to actually clean it and get it thoroughly clean. The roller cover itself, I would not clean that, but you got to take the inner sleeve out of that. You got to take this out. There's some parts inside here that you got to clean out. You got to make sure the inside of the tube itself is cleaned out. You got to take this off, plunger comes out. There's a lot of pieces that you got to actually clean out. So when it comes to the setup time and the cleanup time, if you add that together, you're looking about 20 minutes of setup and cleanup versus if you just got a pan and a roller and just started rolling. If you're working on just a small project, one bedroom or a small hallway or something, this definitely is not going to be the device for you. If you've got multiple rooms, maybe two, probably at least 3 rooms or more, this could be a do-it-yourself device, that could function, well for you. It is not made very well. It's a very light plastic device, inexpensive plastic. I think, if you dropped it off a ladder, something can break on it, fairly easy. If you step on it, it could break. So this tube itself, the plastic end of it, it's not an industrial plastic. It's definitely not a professionally made device. So the device, you're going to pay for this device anywhere from $26 to $27. I know you can, purchase them at Lowe's. You can purchase them at Home Depot. You can purchase them at Ace, even online. I think Amazon, sells the device. Is it something that I would purchase and use as a professional painter? I would never purchase a device like this and use it. Just the setup, the tear down, the quality of the tool, it's not going to last very long. In a professional painter's vehicle, it's going to break extremely fast. Just once again, I said, cleaning it up, it's really frustrating cleaning it up. Now, when it comes to the professional version, the one that hooks up to an airless sprayer that Titan sells, the inner feed roller, that's absolutely an amazing device. If you have an airless sprayer, that's one that sets up quick, cleans a lot easier because you're using forced air to clean it with. That definitely is worth purchasing as a do-it-yourselfer or a professional painter. All right, so I got my ladder out, and where does the Wagner Smart Roller fit on our ladder when it comes to this device? Is it a top tier device? Is it a bottom tier device? Well, it's not a professional painter's tool. If it was classified as a professional painter's tool, or if I was reviewing it for that purpose, it would actually be on the bottom tier. I mean, I would not use it. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. As a do-it-yourselfer, is this something you would like to use, or you should use, or I would recommend? It was interesting because I was using it, and I really started to like the device. The setup and teardown was a little bit annoying to me. I think I can paint faster with it. Dipping my brush or dipping my roller in a pan isn't very annoying to me. But it's a device that, once it's set up, the painting process, you can actually paint a little bit faster with it. So I think this device as a do-it-yourselfer's device is going to be right in the middle, right? We're going to set it right there in the middle of our ladder. I think that's a middle tier device. So it's not on the bottom, it's not on the top, it's right in the middle. And partly because the cost, it's only $26. You could actually paint 3 rooms with this thing, 4 or 5 rooms with it one day, and then just chuck it for $26 and not even worry about cleaning it. So then the cleaning doesn't even become an issue. There you have it. It's a middle tier device. What do you think of it? Let us know down in the comment section below. Have you used it? If you have, let us know in the comment section below. If you got any questions or comments for me, leave them down there. Don't forget, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You need to do that because it really doesn't do anything if you subscribe and not notify. If you've enjoyed this review, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see a review of another product that you want to see, leave that down in the comment section below also. And we'll see you next time on Paint Life TV right here. Out.